going on, guys, and welcome to Anteiku, and happy 17th anniversary to all of you guys near and far, for all those World of Warcraft fans out there. Today we're going to be talking about patch 9.2 developer announcement video that just released last Thursday on the official website. So let's go ahead and dig into this thing, shall we? Okay, so here we are, guys. We're a little late and I do apologize, but hey, better late than never, right? So patch 9.2's developer announcement dropped last Thursday on the official website for Blizzard's World of Warcraft game. Obviously, that's what we're here for. And I'm finally going to get around to giving my thoughts and opinions on this. I guess I'm going to let this play through. So it's not really going to be a reaction video so much as we're just going to listen. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on this because I've already watched it several times. I've already watched other YouTube videos and stuff, and I'm hearing what people are saying on not only the YouTube, but also on Twitter and what have you. And so it's actually kind of interesting, the response that this video has been getting and what people are feeling about it. So let's just go ahead and get into this and see what Blizzard has to say, guys.
The Shadowlands story pulls together threads that started in Warcraft 3 and wove their way through many of our expansions. We approached it like a drama in 3 acts. Now, as the third and final act begins of the saga, we need to stop the jailer from reaching his ultimate goal, which is to rewrite the rules of reality. Eternity's End serves as the final chapter of one book of the Warcraft saga.
Okay. This is fine. I do like the logo, though. I think the logo is pretty cool.
The jailer has the advantage. He has seized the sigils of the leaders of the Four Covenants.
We see Sylvanas realize that she's been a pawn in the jailer's game this entire time.
I recorded this one time before, and the audio didn't pick up, so we're going to have to reventure this. I don't see... This is the one narrative choice where I'm like, I don't understand why they made it like all of a sudden she had the light bulb moment. The epiphany came through that, oh, he wants me to serve. He wants me to serve. Well, you were serving him the entire time. Like, when you're the size of this and yet you're with somebody who's like that size of that, and like you're human scale to a Thanos-like being. Like, you're not partners, you're not twinsies on it, you're not going in there like equals, because he could snuff you out by just blinking at you, is what it feels like. Like, that's the size of Zaval that they give you, is that Zaval is this all-encompassing Thanos-like being, which really is what it feels like Blizzard was going for, was this Disney Marvel intergalactic threat level character. And so for Sylvanas all of a sudden be like, oh, you want me to serve you? You want me to do that? No, I can't do that. You're asking too much. I think that's a bad narrative choice to try to pull her out of it, to start edging towards that redemption arc. As much as I love WoW and I love the lore, I just think something else should have happened. We saw that her opinion and like the thought process behind this was going somewhere else when she was talking to Anduin, and she started having these realizations about things, and you could see it on her face, and they purposely obviously put that in there. But it's like, really, you thought that you were on equal footing with this guy, that you weren't serving him? So that's kind of aggravating. But anyway, let's go.
And she refuses to serve him, and she's taken prisoner.
The jailer is able to open a portal to who knows where, taking Anduin with him.
And the Primus had us take some time to retrieve some new sigils.
Now we have gathered our forces. We are working with the Primus to open our own gateway to pursue the jailer to this realm unlike any we've seen before.
Zereth Mortis. Let's go, baby. Do it.
The Primus opens a portal, and we come into this alien land. It's completely white, foggy.
I like this. Kind of reminds me of Mr. Pandaria.
We can only make out some shapes,
mist going into a new area.
Some crazy devices and consoles.
Eventually, you make your way to a giant gate, and behind it lies Zereth Mortis.
Zereth Mortis was created by the first ones, and it is intended to create afterlives.
Think of it as being tucked away in the fabric of the Shadowlands itself. It's kind of the behind the scenes of these afterlives.
It's really cool. I really like this. Let's go back just a second. I really like this area. And we're going to see more of it obviously in the video. But it reminds me of Old Doom. So I kind of like how like there's a lot of different areas, and so it kind of does harken back to Azeroth. So it does kind of resemble areas on Azeroth that we've already ventured through and that we see. So you can kind of see the link, for lack of better words, between this Zereth Mortis and Azeroth. And I think it gets a little bit interesting because there's a part in the video later that we're going to get to and talk about where I think we get some BFA tie-ins. So kind of curious. Let's keep going.
It's the land where the progenitors, the first ones who created all of the realms of the Shadowlands, this is their workshop.
I like the look of them.
We've
I think the look of the
Azeroth
characters are pretty cool.
Shadowlands,
These creatures.
and even realms we haven't discovered yet.
These first ones built the universe as far as we know, but their intentions or methods are completely unknown.
Titans did not create the universe.
Is disrupting this process, and we're working to push back against the Jailer's forces and protect this place.
I think the artists have done a fantastic job, and I know they did a lot of research and they looked at a lot of real-life examples of very strange places in the real world.
As a team, we were really trying to make this place as alien as possible, so we really wanted to make everything feel completely unique and completely different. Our trees here are floating. We have stones that are floating.
People.
We even have the massive Forge of Afterlives that is floating in the center of the zone.
And true to its
we got a
name,
Death Star.
It's something that is.
And then somebody else made that reference, but I
a
can't
new
get that out of my
afterlife
head
to be
now.
sent out into the
I see a
Shadowlands.
Death Star every time I see that.
We have this
now.
water all around you because water is really the catalyst for any kind of creation.
It's actually unlike any other water that we've seen before.
Now this, and I said this before when I tried to record this. I don't understand from a marketing standpoint. Oops, sorry, I hit my boom stand. I don't understand from a marketing standpoint why they chose. Like, I know you're trying to sell it. You're trying to sell Zereth Mortis. Why did you choose the water part? This just felt very awkward. Now, how many times I keep watching the video, it feels very weird because it's like, okay, we can walk on water. Like, yeah, you can see that it's almost like a bridge or a wall between two realms because you've got what you're walking on, then you see what's down below. But why? Why was that the selling point? Of all the things you could have talked about to get people hyped up for this next part of the expansion, this next patch, why did you choose the water? I don't understand it. It just felt really awkward and kind of out of place, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but it just felt a little weird for some reason.
That we can walk on. It almost creates like a threshold between Zereth Mortis.
But it's not the first time though. Literally, I've been leveling alts like crazy. Like, I've been playing classes I've never played before, and I know I can't remember if it was shaman or mage. It was definitely, I feel like a spellcaster or some sort that it gives you an ability that says a raid member or party member or something can actually walk on water. So like, why? What? That kind of like in this area that makes that whole ability mute. And I haven't figured out a point in time in the game where that's relevant, where you'd want to walk on water. And maybe there is, and I just haven't like delved that deep into it. But like, I don't know. This just it's whatever.
Other kind of more primordial space right below it. Everything you see in Zereth Mortis has a purpose, an intention behind it. For us, it was really important to find ways to convey that intention in the environment itself. And one of the ways in which we did it was through this duality between a lush and a dry biome. In the dry biome, we see
and that's cool. Like
the original look of the
totally
zone
screams Old Doom to me. I love it.
Were first establishing this workspace for themselves.
Also gives me like a Zelda feel. I don't know. Like this whole area kind of reminds me of like
and things like that.
Breath of the Wild for some reason. I kind of get those kind of vibes.
What we'll eventually see elsewhere.
From there, we started thinking about what kinds of creatures would be in this place that are fundamentally prototypes.
The creatures are cool. I'm going to give them that.
There's creatures
I like the fact that these are like prototype versions of creatures that we see out in the wild. And that's dope. I would love to have that as my like pet for a hunter.
My personal fafavorite includes the giant armored snail. And
it's all the rave, man. Everybody loves the snail and the chicken.
Which answers the question of what came first.
I think it was Alkalan that said it's a chocobo.
Crafted Zereth Mortis. What they left behind were the
prototype chocobo,
meant to take care of the place and make sure that it fulfilled its function to create afterlives.
The Automa have several different classes, and you can see this in their silhouettes. We have the builders, we have the protectors. we have the casters.
They're really cool looking.
Each one of them have
like,
a specific role within the
but there's
Shadowlands.
something,
And then you'll also discover the Jiro, which are a part of.
There's something about it though that also reminds me of Dauntless. So if you've ever played the non-Monster Hunter version of Monster Hunter, a lot of the stuff kind of reminds me of the graphical designs of Dauntless in that way. And I'm not gonna say that's bad, because it's like it just feels like a mixture between like Dauntless, you know, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I don't know, just the design and the way that they decided to go about creating all this just gives off those vibes. So it's gonna be hard for me as a player when I go in there not to feel like I'm playing Zelda or I'm playing like Breath of the Wild, Dauntless, because it's like that's it really feels it looks like that. These things are cool.
Quirky,
I really dig those. They're cute. I would like to have one as a like a stuffed animal.
Automa,
cool.
So some of them even split off to pursue their own desires.
Unfortunately, when we found our way in, Devourers also found their way in. They are ravenous.
They're consuming this weird energy, and it's causing them to mutate and to fall
Look
apart.
at them.
And the Automa, where they are confronted by them, some of them are fighting them off.
And so it's going to take some time for them to understand that we're here trying to help them drive out this threat. Fortunately, we've got some allies. There are some enlightened brokers here that we're going to be working with.
But it's a broker that arrived here quite a long time ago and has had a change of heart from looking at the world as a very transactional place to seeing this place as a holy place, a sacred place. We meet an enlightened one named Fareem.
That's really cool
and
looking.
Fareem needs our assistance, and in return he leads us to Haven,
which is a hub that has been created out of progenitor
Now
ruins.
they say this is a hub, and they go on to say also, you'll see in a few minutes, that this is going to be like a base of operations. Now I really hope that maybe we move away from Oribos and this could be our new base of operations, where we are actually able to do all of what we need to do in this area, like whether it's transmog, banking, the traveling, maybe we get new portals and stuff that take us, you know, to anywhere we need to go, so that we're not always constantly going back to Oribos. Especially since like we're not having to worry about covenants now. Like we're moving away from Renown. That's not going to be a thing in this patch. We already know that. And it seems like everything's going to be revolving around Zereth Mortis and this whole area. So I'm secretly, fingers crossed, hoping that this is going to be a new hub area, because let's be honest, Oribos was not Dalaran. Like if there's ever an ideal hub area that I would like to just spend time in and chill, it's still Dalaran for me. Like even above Stormwind or Orgrimmar, I just love being in Dalaran. Dalaran was just so awesome in Legion. Just being able to, like, you had everything, your transmogs. Well, I don't know about transmogs, but you definitely had your barbershops, your banks, you had all of your different class specialties and stuff. You know, it was all laid out. And yeah, you got that in Oribos, but it doesn't feel the same. Oribos's design was just very dank, for lack of better terms. And I hope that this cool little area ends up being where we can kind of like chill, because I also think that would give all the players another area where like we can all see each other and we can interact and we see people coming and going. So it's kind of my hope, is that this really is truly going to be a new hub area for us to, like, you know, chill
and this
at.
is where the Enlightened really have made their home.
Haven serves as our foothold here, as well as use it as a base of operations and really start unlocking the mysteries of this land.
The enlightened brokers are intent on protecting and preserving the work of the first ones here, but now they're seeing Zoval bring his forces against the Automa and tear up the land, and they are eager for assistance.
The brokers themselves are very ostentatious, they're very into materialism, but the Enlightened are not that at all. They have relinquished this material way, and you'll see this reflected in their clothes. They're a little tattered, they're a little designs. Faded, because it just isn't important to them
want those
anymore.
as transmog.
They're just here for the pursuit of knowledge.
I want that. I want to wear that. Like, it's really cool to look at, but I want to wear it.
When players arrive,
I want to be that.
Fishes out of water. And one of the first things that we have to do is start learning how to communicate with the Automa. Think of it as a kind of runic language, based in symbols.
we will bond with a small construct who's pretty cute, actually. And with his assistance and the
This
assistance
little dude
of
reminds me
Fareed,
of like a Star
we will
Wars character
learn
from the new
eventually
trilogy, and
how
I can't
to
remember the
understand
name to save my
symbols
life. But you
through the
guys, if you're
cipher
familiar with the
of
new
the
trilogy of
first
Star
ones.
Wars,
We'll
you'll
uncover different
recognize
parts
what
of this
I'm
alphabet and start to
referencing.
learn more about
Like,
the
I think it's cute. I think it's
progenitors
cute.
and Zereth Mortis itself.
It's cool. I like
It
it.
will allow you to unlock new and different forms of content. So that can range from daily quests to new options on the vendors to
Now,
places to explore.
I talk
and new
about daily quests. I was hoping, like, with after we went through what we did in 9.1 with Korthia, I was really hoping we would get away from daily quests a little bit. It feels very choreful because it's something that you really have to do because it gives you something that goes towards your building up your character progression. Because in Korthia, you've got your research, you still get anima, you get some Stygia or something like that. You can get your Korthia gear and things of that nature. But it's something that, you feel bad. It's that FOMO, like the fear of missing out, because you feel like if I don't do this thing, then I'm going to be behind. I'm behind on my research, or I'm behind on my Korthia gear. So my eye level's not up where it needs to be if I'm not raiding, because some people don't raid. They may do dungeons or they do other things, but they don't raid. And that's the way that they progress their character. I was hoping that we would kind of venture away from that there would be other ways to do things. And I mean, I'm not totally against it. It just now I'm leveling alts and stuff, and it feels very choreful when I'm like, I got to do this Korthia thing. I got to go spend 30 or 40 minutes before I can do anything else because I got to go and do this Korthia thing. And it's okay, but then it's not okay because it feels like, God, got to do this. I don't want to miss out. But I mean, honestly, I haven't touched Korthia on my paladin, which is my main. I haven't touched Korthia in I don't know how long, because when I started doing the alts and I wanted to venture out and do something other than paladin, I've left that behind. I just haven't worried about it. Like my paladin's 220 eye level gear right now, 221 or something like that, and I'm happy with that. No, it could be better. It could be better, but I don't raid as much as I would like right now. I do a lot of dungeons. I do a lot of other things, especially like I said, I'm doing alts, but I haven't worried about Korthia. Korthia has been not in my mind at this moment in time, especially now that we're getting ready to venture into a new area. I'm not really worried about 220 was a sweet spot for me. I'm like, okay, I'm good. This is where I want to be at. I can still do other things and I can kill stuff. I can still do Mythic Plus. I'm not up there in high keys, but I can definitely do at least a Mythic 5 I've done. So I mean, I'm happy with that because that's something I never did before. But anyway, let's move on.
Side quests that open up. So it's really the gateway to exploring the far reaches of Zereth Mortis.
As we looked into the development of CYPHER of the first ones, we wanted something that was unique that players haven't seen before. A little bit of familiarity, but something that takes that to the next level.
We really involved the whole team in this creative process. We worked with our UI team to be able to represent those through text, through these
remind me
talking and seeing
the
them on
chess
screen
and Torghast.
and
the ones where you use the code or whatever, you figure out the way to open up the box.
But it's going to be
That's
a
what those
process
remind
that
me of.
unfolds over the course of playing through Eternity's End. The Automa speak.
They're
in
cute.
this
Why
kind
wouldn't you
of
want to
musical
interact with them? Look, they sing to you.
They don't.
Why,
talk
let me
the way
sing
that
you the
we
song of our people.
mortals are used to speaking. The sound team was super excited. They jumped in. They started prototyping all kinds of different sounds. We listened. We gave feedback.
That's cool. I'm really excited for this
really
part.
ended up in a
This
cool
looks
place.
fun. This looks fun. I like the
As
design
you're
of
playing
these.
through and gradually unlocking the language, you'll be able to see those words that they're saying, but still hear those tones.
Oh yeah, here's where it gets good. The raid.
The
raid.
jailer's true goal has never really been to escape the Maw or to gain power. He's been focused on reaching this place called the Sepulchre, to go into this place of power and to really rewrite the rules of the universe. We'll learn that the jailer has breached the Sepulchre of the first ones, and this becomes our new raid for Eternity's End. We're going to gather our forces. We're going to pursue the
Freaking
jailer
dope, man.
inside. Once you go
at
inside
that.
the Sepulchre, there's some mind-blowing visuals. This is a place that should not be able to exist according to the laws of physics as we know them.
I heard
on
some people
Azeroth.
reference
Just
into
looking out
the
into this
elegant
impossible
technology
sky
and
of seeing these ancient
Final Fantasy, and
works
I could
of the
kind of see
first
that, but
ones.
I'm digging
Those
it, man. I
laws
dig
don't
like the
apply to
ancient
anything
technologies
we
and
see
stuff
here.
that they do when they do things
Among
like
the
this.
bosses that we're going to face in Sepulchre of the first ones include the jailer's forces,
course it was the
maybe
jailer's
a dreadlord or
forces.
two
Why
that
would
you
they not
haven't
be?
tied up loose ends with. We'll face a consular. This is similar to a being like
I'm hoping I assume that the Dreadlord we saw there was Morganus. I assume. That's probably a safe assumption since we like left off with him in like Venthir, and he had his little arc, and we haven't really messed with him since then. I'm kind of hoping that there's still some story build up maybe to be had outside of the raid, that it's not just, oh, we go in there, he's a boss, and we kill him, and we have a little small cutscene thingy, and we do the thing. I'm really hoping that there's something more to it other than just, you know, tank and spank moment in the raid. So I'm kind of curious, because I was actually kind of digging that they brought the Dreadlords back, and that they tied them to Denathrius, and that they retconned it into bringing them to make a purpose that they are referenced in Shadowlands. Like, I know there's a lot of retconning because now like they established Shadowlands, like, oh well, we got to tie this to this, and we got to tie that to this, and you know they've kind of gone away from Ner'zhul, so we don't hear too much about Ner'zhul, even though we know we haven't even seen Arthas, for God's sake, even though like we're talking about Lich King, and we're talking about Frostmourne, we're talking about, you know, Anduin, and now we've got all, you know, just all these things happening, and trying to tie it all back to Warcraft 3, tie it back to Sylvanas, tie it back to Lich King, and all this stuff. So like I'm cool with it as long as they can keep it connected from here out. Like, you keep retconning it, stop retconning it, establish it, and build upon it. Don't keep resetting what you put into your story and your lore, because that irritates people, because it's like, oh, I knew this, and I was like pro for knowing this information, but oh wait, you retconned it. Oh, so now that didn't really happen, or that's not the way that it works. So that's like with the Titans. We thought that they were the world builders. We thought that these Titans were the be all end all of the galaxy. Now we come to find out that no, it's the first ones. Okay, well, if you establish right now in this expansion that the first ones are exactly what created the entire freaking universe and the reason behind it, then stick to your guns on that, and stick to your guns that Denathrius created the Dreadlords. You know, stick to your guns that, you know, this is what you're going to do, and stop retconning it, because it's confusing and it's aggravating.
Algalon, but the jailer's gotten to it and has infused his domination magic into the consular. Before we get to the jailer, however,
and of course,
we need to get to Anduin.
Oh, there she is. I'm making a whole nother video on Sylvanas, but yeah, let's just oh, let's see if we can get her. Look at that. She went from level 60, level 70, 80, whatever level she was on, to like level 1. They downgraded our Dark Lady down to level 1 NPC character. Like, she just like, whoop, like you got bumped off the hierarchy real quick. I'm not sure if I'm mad or I'm not. I'm not sure if I'm mad or I'm okay with the fact that she's not going to get killed off, because it does seem like they're doing the whole redemption thing. And again, I'll talk about that in a whole nother video. But I think I know they did this on purpose. They did that on purpose to get people, one, hyped, and two, kind of like talking about it, because like, oh, did you see that they got Sylvanas in there? Why is Sylvanas in there? What's going to happen to her? And we do know that we're going to get an interrogation scene with her. So there is going to be a moment where, like, I guess we're interrogating her, trying to get information from her. What does she know about the jailer? What is the jailer's plans? What about Anduin and this, that, and the other? And now there's also information going around that apparently her and Uther are going to have a moment, so to speak, where it's like they're going to kind of bond, I guess, because she's going through a thing that Uther's already kind of been through, and he's going to kind of help her out. And I guess it's going to like kind of bring her story arc full circle to where, like, you know, we see that redemption where that's like, oh, I can maybe be a good guy and not be a stone cold bitch, you know, and do the things where like I kill an entire race and, you know, do the stupid things that I've been doing. So I'm gonna be curious to see how this all plays out in the end, how they end up finishing off Sylvanas' story, because I really feel like this is pretty much going to be wherever she ends up at the end of Shadowlands. That's going to be it for a while. So
we need to get to Anduin first. Our hope is that we can learn whatever Anduin knows about domination magic. We need to be able to resist it, or better yet, fight it.
Yeah, baby, they brought back tier sets. This I'm happy about.
Waiting a long time for the return of tier sets,
yeah, so
and as
a lot of
devs,
other people.
we have too.
It's a great blend of progenitor
I love the
magic,
artwork.
golds, and metals.
The
along
artwork
with those
is
class-defining silver.
Beautiful. Like the art, I love Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter looks dope. Warrior looks amazing. I'm thinking that one's the Rogue. I'm thinking. I feel like these are probably the mythic ones because it's got all the glowy effect. And because these don't look like what we get ready to see in the previews. And I could be wrong. I know there's more like images floating around on Twitter and the Wowhead and stuff like that. So if you'd like, check that out. I'll leave that in the description below. But like, I feel like these are like the mythics because this is all looks like it's supposed to be glowing. So if that's the case, I love Shaman. The Shaman one. This is amazing. I love that design. And the Death Knight looks pretty dope. I'm digging the skull look. Absolutely love it. Where's my paladin? Because I'm pretty sure that's warlock. This looks like mage. This looks like what, priest? Priest maybe? And I apologize if I'm incorrect because that could also be priest. Could be druid too. I'm not sure. Shit, that could be monk. It looks like monk right there. Then again, that could be priest. Oh no, anyway, let's keep moving on.
Blend of progenitor magic, golds, and metals, along with those class-defining silhouettes. Wolves for shamans, pointy things for rogues. It's gonna look amazing.
Our class and combat team was super excited to bring class sets back. This is something
I mean,
that
it was
felt
about
really
time. You
right
should have
for
never
the
taken them out of the
story. We're in
game.
the final act of the Shadowlands
I like
saga.
this one again. I'm gonna go back because I love that. Like, it's the panda, but I really, it looks cute. It looks cute on the panda. The Death Knight one on the panda looks really like, I don't know. That's cool. I'm digging that. I don't think that the little gnome looks all that bad. I don't think so. Let's see. I'm not a fan of this. I don't know if that's rogue. It really screams roguish to me. But this looks like this would actually be cool on any other race. I'm not digging it on the troll for some reason, but like this, maybe in a different color. I'm not entirely cool with like the silvers and the grays. It looks too dark, especially when we're like supposed to be in this bright, vibrant area. We're no longer in the freaking Sanctum of Domination anymore. So yeah.
Story. We're in the final act of the Shadowlands saga.
Now this looks like priest or mage. I'm a huge fan, and if you guys know which one it is, then that's fine. Drop it in the comments below. That's perfectly fine. I'm just not up to par on like which one's which officially, but that strikes me as a major.
We're here literally on the
could even be a druid though.
End.
Rogue, definitely rogue though. Like that's sexy. I do like this one. I love the designs, edginess of it. The weapons for the rogue are actually pretty dope. And I love the faceless. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And what better place to fully unleash the power
Warlock.
of these classes?
Gotta be warlock.
And I think players will really enjoy the return of those class sets just as much as the team enjoyed making them.
Oh yeah.
How do you make something that is mystical and magical and incomprehensible and yet understandable? I think we've done a good job of finding that line.
The team as a whole has been working so hard, and we are so excited to get this out for everyone.
We're gonna get new mounts, new pets.
Of course we're gonna get new
A
mounts.
bit
Why would we not get
horrifying
new
for
mounts?
me, but exciting for some
We always
is
get
the
new
fact
mounts.
that some of the spider mounts can now fly.
Freaking
It's
flying spider. Who doesn't
but
love a
that's
flying
also going to
spider?
be a cool thing for people.
We have updates to professions, to soulbinds, to conduits. There's a new dancing minigame in Darkmoon Fair.
I'm a story guy.
I
so
hate that
I'm
they're
super
updating
geeked
soul
about
lines. At least
watching players
from what
kind
that
of
sounds like is that they're I don't know how that's gonna work, that they're gonna like give us more soul binds, but I'm like, okay, that's fine. I guess. Not really. I'm not the biggest fan of soul binds. I'd rather all of our abilities and our powers just come from our weapons or our armor and stuff instead of it being these borrowed powers. It gets just kind of exhausting trying to get, oh, I need to get this conduit, or I need to get this, or I need to get that. I would rather just be in the gear. I'd rather the gear just have the abilities, which obviously, tier sets are going to be a thing, and that's cool, but it's just like, that's fine for now. But I hope moving forward in patch 10.0, when we go into the next expansion, I do hope that that's the borrowed power stuff. I hope that's something that they just completely step away from. And I'll talk about that in a whole nother video too, because I'm not going to drag this thing on.
piece together those little lore tidbits. That's what excites me as well.
I'm really looking forward to Season 3 of Mythic Plus. Tazavesh is getting split into 2 dungeons. If
I'm
you're a
excited about
raider,
that. I'm excited
if you
that they're
chase
splitting
Keystone Master,
Tazavesh
if you're
into 2
an achievement
dungeons.
collector, there's something for everyone to do in this.
Shadowlands is like the final chapter of one book of the Warcraft saga, and our team is already hard at work on the next stories to come. Can't talk about them quite yet, but when the time is right, we're going to be really excited to share them with you.
All right. So that was pretty much all they had to say. there's not a whole lot to go off of, honestly, from what footage they did give us, obviously, in this video. Like, yeah, you see a little bit of the raid, you see a little bit of Zeramorthus, you see a little bit of the tier sets, and so they give you just these little breadcrumbs leading up into this patch, and obviously when it hits the PTR, a lot more is going to be revealed. We're going to be seeing a whole lot more, you know, as the weeks progress. And so I'll be curious to see what all they have. I kind of don't want to know, though. I really want it to be more of a surprise. I kind of wanted to experience it for myself and be surprised. I don't really want the story and elements to be spoiled through PTR and stuff. So it's going to be really hard for, you know, to be on social media and people posting stuff and releasing information and videos and stuff, because you know that's what we're going to do. So it's going to be curious, but I'm super excited for this patch, guys. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? You know, are you excited for this patch? Are you excited for the new raid and new tier sets? What are your thoughts and opinions on it? Is there something you wish you would have saw? Is there something that you wish they would have done differently? Or you know, what do you think they could do differently? Or what were you hoping to see? But just let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, if you would, please give this video a thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. It helps me help you keep making more and more content, especially now that I'm trying to delve into World of Warcraft as my content of choice. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please stay strong, stay healthy, and happy gaming.